The way this works is by having a strong set, arms towards spinning direction and shoulder wide ski stance. What has helped me here is to carve towards the kicker. Do you want to learn your first 360s on skis this season to impress your snowpark friends? Then you're in the right place, because in this video I will show you how you transition from not being able to 360 to a solid understanding of the trick, so when you try it, you're maximizing your chances of success. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. I myself made countless mistakes when learning 360s on skis back in 2017, like leaning too much backwards at the takeoff, causing me to crash in the landing, or not angling my skis when performing a 360, which will make the trick much easier, but more to that later in the video. But since I'm into freeskiing for almost 8 years now, I can confidently say that my 360s are pretty decent, and I can give you some valuable tips for your own sense in the future. We will focus on understanding the rotation on trampoline and also exercise on the ground, how to prepare yourself for the actual send on a park jump or self-made kicker, prerequisites such as learning a 180 before, establish the right set at the takeoff and what to look for, and also common mistakes and how to avoid them, understanding the rotation. Before we even think about trying a 360 on skis, we can practice 360s on a trampoline, diving board, or simply jump into water, and also try adding grabs like a safety grab, mute grab, or even a Japan grab to make sure your foundation is solid. If you don't have access to all of those, you can even practice it on the ground by starting with a shoulder wide stance, wind up your arms to the opposite side, then initiate the spin by throwing your arms to the desired spinning direction. Also, don't forget to look in the spinning direction about 180 degrees when you leave the ground, which will make it easier. One last thing, when doing this kind of 360, don't look down with your head when performing the 360, because looking down will cause you to lose balance, so you're gonna land off axis and crash on the ground. To avoid that, I suggest that you stare about your height level to make sure that your 360 is controlled. How to prepare yourself for the actual send. It's advisable to learn a 180 before sending a 360 on a park jump or even a self-made kicker. But I also got an extra exercise to really help you get comfortable with sending 360s later, because you can always go back to this exercise, but more to that in the 360 side roller part. I would recommend you guys to learn a 180 on a very small jump first to get comfortable with rotating in the air with skis on your body. Since this is a 360 on ski tutorial, I'm not going too much into detail how everything works in a 180, but in general the approach is almost identical to a normal 360. The only difference being you initiate with less impulse at the takeoff. If you still have trouble with learning 180s on skis, let me know in the comments, and I will even consider making my own separate tutorial about it. But back to the topic. Once you can do a pretty solid 180, we can start talking about the proper set you have to do when performing a 360 on skis. As I already mentioned above, on a 360s you have to give more rotation impulse at the kicker's takeoff to make it all the way around. The way this works is by having a strong set, arms towards spinning direction and shoulder wide ski stance. What has helped me here is to carve towards the kicker if it's a park jump, and when you're in the air performing the 360, to angle both of your feet like you're intending to prepare for a blunt grab. You might be asking, but why bend the knees? I don't want to do a blunt grab 360, just a normal one, dude. I know where you are coming from, but back when I was practicing 360s without angling my skis, it always was hard to keep the balance because I was simply too stiff in the air. So yeah, if you don't have to do this in your 360s, but it definitely helped me when learning, so you might give it a try when you're struggling. The last part is common mistakes people make. One of the common mistakes people make when performing 360s is leaning too much backwards, which results in landing backseat. Also, not having a proper T-set on your set when you're taking off, causing less control in your 360s in the air, and also for beginners, looking down when you go for the 360s, which is also gonna make you land backseat. By avoiding these mistakes, you can land your first 360 this season and show it to your friends to have an unforgettable time. And always record yourself. And also feel free to send me your video if you stomped your first 360 this season, or simply tag me on social media. That being said, I hope this tutorial helped you in some way, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out since I will explain it as good as I can. Cheers guys!